Greetings. So today I thought I'd make a quick video. I'm working on my 83 Camaro, which I'll show you a little more in detail at the end of the video, but I wanted to get right to it. I've got some worn belts and they're squeaking, and so I'm going to just replace all the belts because they're all pretty old, but I'm pretty sure it's this one here that's squeaking. But anyway, my system might be a little different than yours because I don't have any air conditioning compressor or anything like that. But this the trick to getting these belts off, I'll have to remove this belt, which I'll show you in just a second. But the big thing that I wanted to show is this power steering. What I have to do is get this loose. And so what it was is there's a slider arm with the bolt back there, and then there's a secondary bolt right down there, right there. That's holding this metal assembly together. And once I loosen these, now I'm free to, as you can see, I can move this and loosen up these belts. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to slide it back in place. I call them fan belts because this one obviously drives the fan. Today they just call them drive belts because they usually have electric fans in modern cars. But one thing is I never wear loose clothing whenever I work on my car, and especially if this thing is running. This metal, it can take off fingers, so I have to be careful when I do this. But the thing I wanted to show was this, loosening these two bolts. You can see where it holds this metal plate on, so that I can get these belts loose and off. And so now I'm going to remove this, loosen up this alternator. It's got a slide arm too. Once I loosen this, I'll be able to take off this belt. I'll slide this alternator in a little bit to loosen that up. For me to get this belt off, I just had to tuck it behind one blade at a time until the whole belt was behind the fan, and then I just pulled it out. So now I'm free to get these belts out of here. As you can see, shouldn't be too bad of a process. I'm sorry, I'm doing this one-handed and showing with the camera in the other hand. I need to go to the other side here. Sorry, folks. Bear with me. I wanted to make this a quick video, but there we go. Okay, so I got them off, and it should slide through there, and it does. And no, the last one's be different. There it goes. So now I'm just gonna let those drop, and I'll slide underneath the front of the car and get those belts. Okay, so I went in and picked up the belts I need, plus another tool that no mechanic should be without. But I'm gonna get these belts back on. Okay, so now I just need to take this belt and slide it between those two pulleys and over that, and then over this. So I'm going to set the camera down, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I've got the two belts back on. I have a double belt system here. Your system is probably a little different than mine, but now that I've got both these belts on, I'm going to slide this back up until these belts are tight. Okay, for this one, it goes around the alternator. I'm just going to jimmy this belt behind each blade, and I'm sorry, you can just see the back of my hand. There you go. But you can see how I'm getting that belt behind each blade, and that way I can get it on the other side of this fan. Okay, so now that I have the belt wrapped around everything, you can see I just need to pull this tight and on this slide arm, this alternator, until that belt gets tight. Okay, so I've used one of my ratchet bars to get that belt to the tightness that I want. And now I'm going to set down the camera and tighten this alternator bolt to get that to the tension that I want. And I'll show you what tension I set it to here in just a second. Okay, so now I've tightened this bolt and I've tightened this one back again. And I didn't want it too loose. I didn't want it too tight. I could still push on it a little bit, so. Okay, so there it is. I got the belts back on, and I've got them pretty tight, but not overly too tight. Just a little wiggle room. And so there they are. I decided to just go with one belt. It really just needs the one, but I think there was a second one just because of the air conditioning system, which I don't have. So, okay, so there they are. I've got them on. New belts, ready to go. No more squeaky noise. So this tool helped out quite a bit on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Yeah, this is a tool no mechanic should be without. Of course, I'm officially talking about this tool, this breaker bar. I used it to pry the alternator taut on the slide arm. But Sunday afternoon, mechanic definitely needs that tool. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I got the new belts on. Let's fire it up and see if it squeaks.